Hello everyone, so it's time for the Belgian Grand Prix after the summer break. I am very excited for this race because it is incredibly mixed up. We've got Carlos Sainz on pole, we've got Sergio Perez, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Russell, Alex Albon of Williams and Daniel Ricciardo make up the top 7 drivers starting today. So it's completely anyone's game, I think, this. Saying that Max Verstappen, I think, is starting either 13th or 14th today. So we can expect to see him back at the front, I'm sure, very quickly. But it's certainly going to be an interesting race and I'm excited to see how it goes. As always, I like to give my predictions, so I'm going to go for a Max Verstappen win. That's bad, I know, I'm a Ferrari fan, shouldn't be saying this, but I do think Max Verstappen, unless there's some sort of incident, is going to win this race. And then, I think potentially Carlos Sainz. I don't know whether Ferrari will play the strategy game and try and get Charles actually ahead of Carlos. So it could be Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, and then I'm thinking one of the Mercedes. Let me know in the comments who you predicted. I know you'll be watching this after the race, but I'll be intrigued to see what you thought. But yeah, they're just doing their formation laps now, so it's nearly time. The first lap, I think, could be really crucial for some drivers in terms of getting ahead, especially if they're starting from the back. Lights out and away we go. Perez come across to cover Fernando Alonso. Oh, he's lost a few places, I think, potentially. Oh, it's Alonso, Hamilton, Russell, Perez. Oh my gosh, Perez is like dropped down to 5th place. What an awful start. Helmut Marko won't be happy with that. Daniel Ricciardo seems to have... Has he stayed in his position? I think maybe have gained 1 place, but it's Carlos Sainz has absolutely aced this start. The 2 Aston Martins are racing each other. So are the Mercedes. No. Oh my god, Fernando Alonso just, I think, absolutely rear-ended. Oh my god, what's happening? Yeah, I think Fernando Alonso just rear-ended Lewis Hamilton. They've carried on and then someone went off into the gravel trap. What happened there? Fulham went up like that. Oh, it's good to be back in F1, I tell you. Oh, Hamilton's going incredibly slowly. He's been told to stop the car. He's out the race. Okay, well, there's one of my Mercedes theories gone. So, just George Russell that could end up on the podium now. Verstappen is now up to 8th. How has Alonso kept 4th? Wow. 1 opening lap. So, there's a yellow flag 9 sector 3. That could be Hamilton's car. Oh! Oh! I feel like Nicholas Latifi just had his own little moment there and absolutely rammed into Valtteri Bottas, and now Bottas is out. These opening laps, wow. Oh, he went into the gravel, spun round. Valtteri tried to avoid him and ended up spinning into the gravel as well. Oh, nightmare. And it's Hamilton that is stopped on the track. It's a full safety car. So Charles Leclerc is coming in for a pit stop. We're on lap 4, but it's a safety car. He said that he's seen some smoke coming from, I'm not sure which tyre, but he said he saw smoke coming, so they're going to replace the tyres now. So it looks like he might have potentially had a puncture in his front right tyre, Charles Leclerc, and that's why they've pitted him just in case, because he said that he did see smoke coming from one of his tyres. Leclerc is now 17th, but you don't lose too much time on a safety car pit stop. However, it does mean he's out of position when it comes to the likes of Max Verstappen, who is in 8th, and the pack has now been bunched up, so Sainz has lost any of his advantage that he had over Perez. So, like I say, the pack is very bunched up now, and this just makes it a whole lot easier for Max Verstappen. So, the safety car is in this lap, whilst the Ferrari strategist and Charles Leclerc have a little chat about how many stops they're going to do. Probably should have thought about that beforehand, but anyway. Don't think the Ferrari strategists are that sure, actually, because they've just said, we'll get back to you. Oh, he's locked up Carlos Sainz. I think he was about to go then. He's had a complete lock-up. Oof, not good. Okay, well, he's off now. But not a great lock-up there. Oh, Perez is having to defend from Russell. Lock-up from Perez. Thought Russell was going to get past Perez there, but just not happening. And you've got Fernando Alonso chasing Russell now as well. Sainz has managed to pull nearly a second away from him and Perez on that restart, and there's a second now between Russell and Perez as well. So it looks like Russell's main fight now at the moment is to keep third place against Fernando Alonso, who, despite his little tangle with Hamilton, seems to have survived it all quite well. And Verstappen makes easy pickings of Vettel. He's now up to 5th, and DRS is just being enabled. So, yeah, Carlos Sainz better get moving because Verstappen is on the way. Also, how odd, by the way, is that, like, dinner in the sky thing at the Spa? I've seen it at the O2 in London, but they've got one at Spa, and I can't imagine anything worse than being stuck up in the air whilst trying to have dinner. Anyway, that's hospitality for you. But yeah, easy overtake Verstappen on Alonso. Just didn't even argue with that. Verstappen up to 4th. Oh, this could be a lonely race for Verstappen in the end. Verstappen has overtaken Russell and is now in 3rd place. And it is his teammate Sergio Perez who is in 2nd place now. I can pretty much guarantee that Sergio Perez will be told to let Verstappen through because it's Verstappen's Drivers' Championship to win. So, and not Sergio Perez's, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see how much Perez obeys the team orders, whether he does put up a little fight or whether he just lets Verstappen through, knowing that that's sort of his position in Red Bull. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc has just got up to 15th place. He sort of, after that pit stop, came out in a really tight pack and has struggled to make any headway through it. So, honestly, at this stage, I know we're only on lap 8 of 44, but Leclerc could be in trouble here if he wants to finish in the top 3. By the way, snack choice for today's race are these little biscuits. If you're from Sweden, this is where I got them from because these are amazing. And I bought loads when I was there. I think they're called like Anna's something. They're basically ginger biscuits, but they're really thin. But they're one of the best ginger biscuits I've ever had. So, would recommend. I don't know if they sell them elsewhere, but in Sweden, you can get them. They're very good. So, Carlos Sainz has come into the pits, and Perez has gone through with Verstappen behind him. Verstappen's been on the radio basically saying, let me through. We're wasting time. But is Perez letting him through? Not at the moment, he's not. And Verstappen is through on Sergio Perez. That was the right decision. It's shocking for Perez, but it is what it is. He's a faster driver. Really nice pit stop from Red Bull and Sergio Perez there. I think it was about 2.2 seconds. When he came out the pit exit, he was ahead of Leclerc and Russell, and he has fought off Leclerc. Verstappen is now coming into the pit, so there's about a 13-second gap between him and Sainz at the minute. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether that Sainz early pit stop works out overall, because for the time being it has. They've got issues with Leclerc, that's a separate story. But for Sainz, this has so far worked out, but there's still a long way to go in this race. Very nice move there from Esteban Ocon, who made it past Ricciardo and Gasly in the space of 2 corners. So, fair play, he's now up to 10th and in the points. Verstappen is really catching on Sainz. And Verstappen is through. Well, they're very happy, the fans at Belgium in Spa. Yeah, Verstappen is through on Sainz. There's already put a 1-second gap between him and Sainz, so... Yeah, I don't know whether that is a tyre issue, to be honest. I think just the Red Bull's a better car than the Ferrari. Leclerc's just been told by his engineer that they're looking for a 5th place finish overall, which is not great considering the Drivers' Championship and that Verstappen is storming the race here at Spa. Yeah, I don't understand sometimes how the drivers are able to compute so much information. Leclerc's engineer was absolutely feeding him so much information and asking questions. You know, these cars on this track do 170 miles per hour going down the straight. How they're able to compute, respond, and deal with questions, I do not know. But Leclerc was just asked whether he wanted to pit then, and they said, oh, you'll be ahead of Gasly, who's in 12th place. So Perez has overtaken Leclerc, so it's now Verstappen 1, Perez 2, so Red Bull 1-2, and then Carlos Sainz in 3rd. Don't know about you, I'll be interested to hear your opinion, but obviously, like I said, you know, there's nearly now a 7-second gap between Verstappen and Perez. And I'm never a massive fan of tracks that allow for such a gap to build from the front. We had that in 2020, it was a mixture of, obviously, Hamilton, his driving, but also how good the Mercedes is. In this case, it's Red Bull. It sometimes just dilutes the entertainment value of a race if there's such a big gap in front. I don't know, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think it's just, that's F1 and Red Bull have built an amazing car and you can't take that away from them? Or do you like to see the pack a bit closer together? Ricciardo, I tell you, isn't really having a good time. He started high up and he's 10th. Yet Lando Norris, who started at the back, is in 12th. So he's not really capitalised on the fact that he didn't have any penalties, which is not exactly what he'll be hoping for after the news was announced that McLaren have terminated the contract with him early. Apparently Ferrari are doing Plan D, whatever Plan D is, because apparently A, B and C didn't work out. So Verstappen has just done his second pit stop, so is Perez and Sainz. Interesting that Ferrari decided to try and do an undercut again, considering that didn't work last time. But yeah, we're lap 31 out of 44 and Verstappen is now something like 25 seconds ahead. It was that before when I last looked. So a crazy race advantage. But like I say, it's Verstappen, Perez, Sainz and Russell at the moment. However, the Russell and Sainz one could very likely change. Much like Ferrari, my camera has decided to give up, so I'm currently filming this on my phone. But Verstappen is just in a league of his own. He has dominated this race. He's currently 16 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez, who's in second. But the real battle at the moment is between Russell and Sainz. So Russell is catching up to Sainz. It's about a 2-second gap. And there's around 5 laps still to go. So Ferrari could be very well about to lose this podium place. Leclerc looks like he's going to get guaranteed 5th, which isn't great when it comes to the Drivers' Championship. And then you've got Alonso, Ocon, Vettel, Gasly and Albon making up the rest of the top 10. Oh God, it's gone even worse for Ferrari. Alonso's just got past Charles Leclerc. They're in 6th place, Leclerc now. Oh, what an awful day to be a Ferrari fan. I imagine this is what it's like to be a Man United fan. Just the pain. Leclerc's got 5th place back, thank God. Oh, I thought it was going to be a terrible finish then for Leclerc. Right, Verstappen has won the Belgian Grand Prix. 2nd will be Perez. 3rd will be Sainz. 4th, Russell. And 5th should be Leclerc. 6th will be Alonso. 7th, Ocon. Vettel 8th. Gasly 9th. 10th to Albon. Hopefully Albon gets 10th, although Stroll is catching up behind him. Albon managed to hold on to 10th place, so one good thing has come out of this race. Yeah, extremely disappointing that for Ferrari. And also it doesn't help that apparently Leclerc has just been noticed for speeding in the pit lane, because if that is the case, then it's pretty much a slam dunk penalty. I hope that if you're not a Ferrari fan, you've enjoyed this race. If you are a Ferrari fan, commiserations. It's been pretty horrific, but it's good to be back doing race reactions. I do always enjoy it. And I'll be interested to hear what you all say in the comments down below about this race. Like I say, if you've enjoyed it, it'd be great if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more race reactions and other sort of profile type videos as well. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Oh, and a 5-second time penalty for Leclerc has just been confirmed. What a way to end the video. Right, I'm off. See you later.